Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Somewhere.
Professor Akshita,
Yes,
you can start.
sir. Sure, sir. So, hello, everyone. Good morning. I welcome all of you to this session on planning and wealth creation through mutual funds, a roadmap. Welcome to the key person, panelists, faculty members, and participants. The School of Commerce and Management Studies at DSU, in collaboration with AMFI, the Association of Mutual Funds in India, we've organized this event to create awareness about various investment avenues. Before we start with the session, I would like to inform all participants to use the chat box for queries, if any. Also, we will have a question and answer session conducted by Dr. Ruhi at the end of this session. Let me introduce the panel members. The key speaker for today is Mr. Suryakant Sharma. He's a commerce graduate and master's in law with specialization in corporate law. He is also a chartered associate of the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Shri Sharma has over 35 years of experience in banking and finance and securities market, and has also served in a leading financial institution, thereafter in the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally in SEBI. Shri Sharma joined the Securities and Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, he was the DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. Shri Sharma is also a member of the working group of NCERT for developing vocational course on mutual funds for students of the 11th and 12th classes. Shri Sharma is also a mentor of few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 IAPs. After superannuation from SEBI in 2019, he has joined the Association of Mutual Funds in India, an apex body of mutual funds, as a consultant for North India. We welcome you, sir. Now, I would also like to introduce Professor Captain Nagaraj Subbarao, the Dean, SCMS. Professor Captain Nagaraj Subbarao, or Captain as we fondly call him, is a master mariner with specialization in navigation, dredging technology, and ocean engineering. He holds an MBA and MPhil degree in human resource management with specialization in leadership and strategy from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, USA. He has commanded state-of-the-art ships while in the Merchant Navy through a career spanning 22 years. He has led teams through adverse conditions and has wide international experience. He has worked all over the world, including Europe, China, Southwest, and Southeast Asia. For the last 13 years, he has been an academician as a professor of strategy, organization behavior, and human resource management. With senior administrative positions across academia, including the dean, academics, he has also consulted in areas of leadership, organization culture, and ocean engineering. He has worked on some of the largest engineering projects in the world, which includes the Palm Islands off the Dubai coast. He has commanded ships with multinational crews and has developed a deep understanding of team dynamics and issues pertaining to cross-cultural management. He has co-founded a marine consultancy over a decade ago, which has successfully advised a wide variety of organizations, both in India and abroad. He has also worked as Director of Human Resources in the IT and the ITES industry, as well as a major university. He writes extensively, and his work is widely published in academic journals. His published case study, In High Spirits, was rated as an outstanding case study by a jury comprising IIM Lucknow, National HRD, Lucknow Management Association, SBI, and NTPC, and he was invited to present this case at IIM Lucknow. He's extremely popular on social media sites, where his articles have a major fan following. A keen sportsman, and he has played cricket and table tennis at the national and junior level. We welcome you, sir. I would also like to introduce Dr. Trupta Shankar, Assistant Dean, School of Commerce and Management. Dr. Trupta Shankar has a PhD from the University of Mysore and has nearly 2 decades of work experience in organizations of repute in senior positions, including zonal and country head for sales and marketing. He has consulted in the areas of sales and marketing and has successfully managed businesses across industries. He also has an Executive General Management certification from IIM Bengaluru. Dr. Shankar is a professor of marketing and strategy. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir, Dr. Trupta Shankar. Please enrich us with your valuable words.
Yeah, good morning, all. I would like to welcome again our keynote speaker, Mr. Surikant Sharma, and our Dean, Captain Nagaraj Subrao. To set the context, we at School of Commerce and Management Studies believe in collaboration, continuous collaboration with the industry, and always been collaborating with the industry. And we believe in having the industry-oriented pedagogy to ensure that our students are industry ready by the end of the course. This webinar is also in the same spirit. This webinar is in collaboration with AMFI, that is Association of Mutual Funds of India, and is initiated by our professors, Dr. Lakshman Rao and Dr. Abhijit Chakrabarti. Thank you. Thanks to both of you. Myself, I have been part of financial service industry for nearly 10 years, and I can tell with conviction that wealth creation is a science, and disciplined savings and investment strategy can create wealth beyond normal trends. Mutual funds are great financial instruments with much lesser risks involved. To give a snapshot, global mutual fund industry base is nearly around $54.93. Indian mutual fund industry fund base is around $468 billion, and which has employed nearly around 1 lakh plus employees and intermediaries. Plus also there are approximately around 1 crore plus investors. More of this and strategies to how you can become successful strategies, Mr. Surikant will be able to enlighten us. Now I would like to request Captain Nagaraj Subrao to share a few words.
Keep it at that, a few words, because I think all our 200 plus students who are here logged in are keen to hear Mr. Sharma enlighten them on wealth creation. So good morning, everybody, and my colleagues from the School of Commerce and Management Studies, our distinguished guest for the day, Mr. Sharma. Welcome to this seminar or webinar on planning and wealth creation through mutual funds, a roadmap organized by the Management Studies in collaboration with the Association for Mutual Funds of India, AMFI. I must, of course, congratulate my colleagues, Dr. Lakshman Rao and Dr. Abhijit, for taking this initiative and making this happen. So fundamentally, wealth creation or wealth is a discipline, as Dr. Trupta Shankar said, and it's not rocket science. And the more we know of it, the better. Today, more and more people talk about its creation simply because retirement ages everywhere seem to be dropping. I can recollect that my father retired at 60. Probably I will retire at 62. Many people retire at 50, 45. And so how do you sort of sustain if you sort of early is something that concerns all of us. Also, taking off from the data that Dr. Trupta Shankar shared, while you can see in absolute numbers, there are large amounts of money in mutual funds. Unfortunately, the penetration of mutual funds to the general population is very small. Mr. Sharma can tell us a little bit more about it, but my understanding is still less than 5% of the population that are there in cities. And unless this goes up, you're not going to have money circulating in the economy, and you're not going to have people who really sort of can create wealth in a disciplined manner. So what is wealth? Wealth is the abundance of valuable financial possessions which can be converted into a form that can be used for transactions. And interestingly, the mutual fund is one of the easiest form of wealth that can be converted for transactions, and hence it is very popular. Wealth comes very interestingly from an old Indo-European term called wheel or whale. So probably has its origins in Sanskrit and so on and so forth. And we can talk of many kinds of wealth, financial wealth. We should not forget while we talk about money, and this is for my young students who are here, but also concerns status, that is social wealth, which you will have to garner as you go along, freedom, and your freedom from various kinds of wants. The more freedom you have, the wealthier you are. And the freedom to utilize time the way you want to utilize it is one of our greatest wealths that we can create for ourselves. And of course, last but not least, health, which is physical wealth, is very important. So while we talk about money or so with Mr. Sharma, please don't forget that you need to keep an eye on your social wealth, time wealth, or freedom, and your physical wealth as well. And with that, I will hand you back to my colleague, Dr. Trupta Shankar, and allow you to sort of participate in this webinar. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for being here today and enlightening our students.
I think we have, as Captain Subbarao said, we have more than 240 students joined in for this webinar. So I'd like to request Suryakant, please address the session, please. Sir, you're on mute.
Good morning to all of you. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Captain Subbarao, sir. Thank you, Mr. Shankar, Mr. Abhiti Chakravarti, Dr. Lakshman Rao, Muhammad Imtiaz, and other faculty members and students for giving me opportunity to be with all of you, of course, through this digital form only. But I will be more happy and will like to come to you physically as well at the first opportunity. I am thankful to your management for giving this, for making this happen in your university, of course, through your department. And I hope that participants from other departments might have also joined. Because 2-3 things I wish to mention before I start my session. Captain Subbarao, sir, this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, MC. But it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. I want to make it very clear. Of course, the organizers have given me the topic of mutual fund. That is why I will speak little bit more on mutual funds. But otherwise, basically, it is a pure investor awareness program. And there are two categories of investors. Dr. Shankar, you will appreciate with me. One category, like you and me, those who are already earning. And the other category are potential investors, your students, those who are not earning today, but they are going to earn very soon. And their focus at this juncture, I personally feel, is more on jobs or professions or startup, whatever they want to do something in their life. So from security market perspective, I want to request all your students particularly, kindly visit the website of NISM, National Institute of Security Market. Because first, starting about the program, I want to share with the career prospects in the security market. I feel it is necessary, particularly for the students, to know about the careers in security market. So NISM is an institute developed and constituted by Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, which is the regulator in security market in India. And my dear participants, SEBI has invested more than 400 crores of rupees on NISM, and the task is very clear for NISM. Their task is to equip young professionals, including your students, to take some online and offline courses first, then think of joining into the security market. And security market has great potential for the next 25 to 30 years, including mutual funds. So I will urge your students particularly, kindly visit the website of NISM and identify 2, 3, 4 short-term or mid-term courses, online courses, which if they wish to have career in the security market, complete those courses, and then start thinking about joining in one of the stakeholders of the security market, which inter alia includes exchanges, depositories, mutual funds, credit rating agencies, lot more, and including SEBI itself. SEBI is also one of the best employer in the country, because I had been in SEBI for almost 20 years before. When I superannuated after joining, and when I joined MFI, I was in SEBI for almost 20 years. So SEBI is also one of the best employer and a platform to grow yourself in the career of security market. So please consider, if you wish to join in the security market, please consider taking a small online and offline courses of NISM first. As far as today's topic is concerned, I can break it in 3 words: planning, wealth creation, and mutual funds. I want to make it very clear, Captain Subbarao sir, I am a student only. You are professors, you are teachers for a pretty long time, but perchance I was in SEBI for a reasonable period. But still I am a student, so I will talk in the language of students. I will not use any financial jugglery, heavy words, because that you are otherwise teaching to the students. So that I think it might not be a repetition of those things, might not be necessary here. So I will try to make it as simple as I can. And my dear participants, money gives us 2 basic things in our life. The first, money gives us prosperity, and the second thing, money gives us security. And Dr. Shankar, you will agree with me that as far as prosperity is concerned, there are different stages of prosperity for different category of persons. Those who don't have anything, they will, for them, prosperity is nothing but roti kapda makan, basic needs. Taking care of their basic needs is the prosperity for them. But once our basic needs are taken care of, Dr. Shankar, you will agree with me, we don't stop there. It is human nature. Then we think of having some comfort in our life, a good reasonable house, having all appliances at home, and then basic comfort in my life. Every human being thing and every family think on that that way only. But once even comfort are taken care of, even when we don't stop, then we think of luxuries. We should have palatial house, we should have luxury fancy cars, we should have everything, we should have other house in some hill station, on travel abroad, all the countries. This is the basic thing of a human being develops like that only. So prosperity is different to different categories of persons. Likewise, security is also very important and money gives us. But Professor Shankar, you will agree with me that money gives us security only when we have plenty of money. One day, Dr. Lakshman Rao will have 100 crore in his bank account. Then, of course, he will feel happy in the sense that now I have that much of money. If anything happens to me and my family, I can manage with that money. Shankar, I know Dr. Shankar Rao is smiling and other participants might also be smiling because Dr. Shankar Rao and we all know that at least through a job, Dr. Shankar, we would not be having that much of money. That is a fact of our life. That is why we all think, and rather we should think, how an individual can develop security for himself and for his family or for herself. See, and I feel, Dr. Shankar, that security comes first, prosperity comes second. Because first we should think about developing security for not only for ourselves, but also our family. And more so when we don't have plenty of money, how we can develop security. Yes, my dear participants, and particularly the students, I want to tell all of you, when you start earning, and those who are already faculty members, they must have developed these three things in their life. But if they have not, please do consider these three things. And these three things, Dr. Shankar Rao, is relating to security only. I want to again repeat it here. Prosperity we will discuss afterwards once security aspect is taken care of. So three things every earning member must have in their life. And ideally speaking, they should have it at the beginning of their career itself, so that they can more focus on the prosperity aspect. And what these three things are, the first and foremost thing, Dr. Shankar, I personally feel is every earning member must have adequate life insurance cover. Life insurance cover, most of us do have, we do take. Professor Subbarao might have also taken, Dr. Shankar must have also taken. We all have taken life insurance cover. But unfortunately, most of us, we do have taken life insurance cover, but that is for the namesake only. Maybe 5 lakh, maybe 10 lakhs, maybe 20, 25 lakhs. Because in over times, Bichi Chakravarti sir, you will agree with me that there were two categories of insurance products, money back and endowment, which were basically saving-linked insurance products. And there we have to pay very heavy premium. So we could hardly have adequate life insurance cover. But perchance your students are fortunate, and those who are young participants here, they are fortunate that nowadays a new insurance product, a pure insurance product, I feel, that is available in the market, which is called term insurance. And term insurance is a pure insurance product. And Abhijit Chakravarti sir, one more thing I want to make it clear. It is my personal opinion, of course. Insurance and investment are two different things. People do club these things, but truly speaking, insurance is a different ball game, and investment is a different thing. And we should not club insurance with investment. Keep it separate. Keep it separate. That is why I'm requesting all of young participants particularly, please do consider when you start earning, taking adequate life insurance cover through term insurance. Because term insurance is a pure insurance product. If a person of the age of 25 to 30 years, Dr. Shankar, can take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by hardly paying a monthly premium of 500 rupees or 600 rupees. But otherwise, if we go for the money back or endowment, which we all must have gone, the premium for 1 crore life insurance cover would be not less than 40,000-50,000 per month. And most of us, that is why I have not taken that level of life insurance cover. So please do take life insurance cover adequate. And what is the definition of it, sir? It should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. If your annual income is around 20 lakhs, then ideally speaking, you should have a life insurance cover not less than 2 crore rupees. See, the first request with regard to security. Second request is, I don't know what your university gives us medical and health facilities to the employees, but mostly they are inadequate. More so, when serious disease emerge in, or we might met with an accident. That is why I keep telling in my session, Dr. Lakshman Rao, that an individual must have independent health insurance cover. And health insurance cover, Dr. Shankar, is different than that of life insurance cover. People do get confused sometimes. I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover? But my dear participants, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. Health insurance cover, we take that in case some serious disease might discovered in my body, or I might met with an accident. Chakravarti sir, where will be forced to go? Unfortunately, even after 75 years of independence, our governmental health system is not up to mark. Unfortunately, it is, but it is a fact of our life. So we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. But there the problem is different, Dr. Shankar Rao. They charge exorbitantly. If a person remain in a hospital for 10, 12 days, they may raise a bill of not more than 10 lakhs. That is why the need of having health insurance cover. And nowadays, a very good health insurance cover is available in the market. That is called floater health insurance cover. It is also called umbrella health insurance cover. In this health insurance cover, Dr. Shankar, if a person he had the leverage of adding all his family members, children, spouse, and even parents, if he wish to add. And so in one singular health insurance cover policy, all members of the family are covered. And early you take, for both life insurance cover and health insurance cover, the premium will be lesser. So please don't keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover and health insurance cover. The third request I want to make all of you, again relating to security only, is, and that Dr. Shankar, you will appreciate that this Corona has taught us thousands of lessons. But the most important lesson a family has got is, every family, Dr. Chakravarti, must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs with them. Because you are very lucky, your job continued in the university, but at the same time, Dr. Shankar, you might be aware that lakhs of people had lost their job. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their salaries and income. Businesses were closed for months together. Professions were closed. And since this was totally unexpected, lot of people have got a lot of pain in passing through that phase of life. So this phase has taught us that every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs, so that in case some emergency arises like this, which happened in the Corona, at least I am able to manage my monthly and family expenses for another 1 year. For that, we should have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. And of course, I am not saying that you keep that emergency fund in currency form at home. You can put it in a fixed deposit with a good bank. So at least you will get some reasonable return with the facility of withdrawing at any time. So these three things, I again repeat, are relating to developing security for you and for your family. And Abhijit sir, I again repeat, I personally feel security comes first, and then we think about prosperity. Then as far as the prosperity is concerned, what is the main source of income for most of us? Those who are in service or job, and even some business or professions, they have some income, and we have those who are in service get some regular income through salary, Abhijit sir. And what we do with the salary, a majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses, majority of it. But we Indians have a unique DNA, Dr. Shankar, you will agree with me, and that DNA is, every family, may that family is earning 10,000 rupees or 10 lakhs rupees. Every family sincerely try to take away some money out of their income, which they don't spend. And the money which we don't spend out of our regular income, we term it as savings. And we are all savers. We are savers. But unfortunately, my dear students, please do understand, most of those who are in my category, we are savers, but we are casual about saving. We do save some amount in a month, then next month it might be higher or lower, and third month it might be even zero sometimes. Of course, reasons are there, but we are casual about saving. So the first thing I want to request all the young participants, please identify an amount of saving which you can make out of your regular income. And Dr. Shankar, I am not putting anything, prescribing anything, 20% saving, 30% saving of your income. But I am simply saying, you please identify. Suppose Dr. Abhijit Chakravarti has got 50,000 a monthly income. Of course, he had much more than that. But just for example's sake, he has got 50,000 monthly income, and he said that their expenses are around 40,000. Then my request is very simple, because you are indirectly saying that you can save 10,000. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Please do save this 10,000 without fail every month. I again repeat, please do save this 10,000 every month without fail. I know, Professor Chakravarti, it is a tough task. It is not so easy as we talk it, but at the same time, it is not impossible. Once we make a discipline and commitment of ourselves, come what may, we will save this amount, then we can save it. So please identify an amount of saving and then do that saving every month. And second request about saving is, please do keep increasing saving minimum by 10% every year. And again, it is possible, Dr. Shankar will agree with me, because we get increase in our salary because of increment, because of some allowances increase, and all, even profession and businesses, we get increased income every year. With the increase in income, we must increase our saving minimum by 10%. Suppose this year we are saving 10,000 a month, and next year it should be 11,000 a month, and third year it should be 12,100. These two things, Dr. Chakravarti, looks very easy, very simple. And you, some of your participants might be asking what simple things I am talking to in this session. But I feel that these simple things make you big. These simple things will make your task much easier in the longer run. So please do save and keep increasing your saving minimum by 10%. Then what we do with the savings, Dr. Rao, which we are making every month, there are two options. One option is, which a foolish person like me will only do, and that is, I am saving religiously every month. But what I am doing, that I am taking out the saving amount from my bank account where I get salary, counting that money and keeping that money at home in currency form. Every year, every month I am doing it religiously, or I am just leaving that amount in my bank account. Dr. Rao, if any of the person is doing this thing, please stop it at once. Never, never, never do this in life. Because saving and putting saving into at home in a box or leaving it bank account, it is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our country, and to our family, and to our country as a whole. Naturally, with the next question arises, then what to do? Yes, sir, there are options. And as Dr. Shankar and Professor Subbarao has just mentioned, through a process, we can put our savings into some acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future, and or in some financial instrument which will give us periodical and regular return. And the process of putting this saving into this in acquisition of assets or in some financial instrument, Dr. Shankar knows it very well. It is called investment. It is called investment. So saving is the first step, investment is the second step. Without saving, what you will invest? So of course, saving is the prime source of investment. So please do save, but don't stop yourself at the saving itself. Please invest your savings, because only investment will make you prosper. Please understand it very carefully. Only investment will make you prosper. So, per chance, and normally, Dr. Shankar, you will agree with me that we are all savers and we are all investors as well. We are putting our money in one or other product, those who are already earning. But Abhijit sir, one thing I want to ask you, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, but unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, most of us, despite our sincere efforts in saving and investment, we just remain money accumulators in our life. We don't become wealth creators. We just remain money accumulators. We don't become wealth creators. And on top of it, Abhijit sir, most of us don't accept it even. Arey Baba, no, I am not. Abhijit sir will say, I am not. Dr. Lakshman Rao might be. Like this only, because we don't accept that we are money accumulators. But most of us are still, at least my generation and our generation, Abhijit sir, we are money accumulators only. We are not wealth creation. But please do understand that your prosperity will come only through wealth creation, not through money accumulation. So just to make you understand the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation, I just give a very simple example. And for that example, Vijay sir, kindly allow me to take your name in that example, just for the example's sake only. Suppose Abhijit sir has got 1 lakh rupees with him. Again, he has got much more than that. But just for example's sake, I say that he has got 1 lakh rupees with him. And he goes for a 1-year bank FD with a good bank. And Dr. Shankar, we all know that the rate of interest of FD is around 5% or 6% maximum nowadays. So suppose we take it a 6% bank FD for 1 year. After 1 year, when we meet Abhijit sir and just ask her, sir, what happened to your FD? Dr. Abhijit Chakravarti sir is very happy. He's smiling. He says that he has earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest. Very as simple as we can tell it. So he has earned 6,000 rupees as bank, and he's happy. When I just ask you again, sir, are you right? Then he might get annoyed. He said, yes, I'm absolutely right. Because you can see credit of the 6,000 as bank interest in my bank account, and my money has been given back by the bank. Dr. Shankar, he is right, but he is not right. Because normally, Dr. Lakshman, there are two major important factors which we normally don't consider while analyzing return on our investment, and you will appreciate FD is also one of the investment products. And these two factors are, the first and foremost factor is inflation, mehengai. And Dr. Shankar, we talk about the inflation day in, day out. Every day we discuss extensively about the impact of inflation at home, in a staff room. We all know the impact and effects of the inflation. But we don't consider inflation as a factor while analyzing return. So first, we should understand what is inflation. And Dr. Shankar is simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right, sir? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. So last year when Dr. Chakravarti was going for bank FD 1 year, had he not gone for FD and might have purchased some items or goods or might have availed some services from 1 lakh rupees, Dr. Shankar, would he be able to purchase same items, same goods and same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Will it be possible, sir? No, it will not be possible. We all know because of inflation, the prices might have increased. Suppose we take inflation rate at 5% during this period. What does it simply mean? It simply means that last year, whatever Dr. Abhijit Chakravarti could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees for the same items, same goods and same services, Dr. Chakravarti after 1 year have to pay not 1 lakh rupees but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, sir? Because the inflation rate has been 5%. Now you see the proposition out of 6,000, in reality, sir, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Still, Dr. Chakravarti is happy. He says, no problem. I have got 1,000 is still with me. No, sir. That is another factor which we normally ignore. That is taxability. Government do take income tax or capital gain tax on our investment return, all this. As far as FD is concerned, which is, sir, you might be aware, whatever you earn as FD interest on your interest is included as your income in your income tax return. The 10,000 exemption which we normally get, that is bank interest income on the savings bank account. Dr. Shankar sir, you might be aware. So 6,000 you earn as interest on bank FD has to be included in your income tax, in your total income, and you have to pay income tax as per your slab. Suppose you are 20% bracket, then you will need to pay 20% of 6,000, that is 1,200 on your FD income as well. And that is 1,200 rupees. So, sir, you see the proposition. Dr. Chakravarti was very happy when he earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 rupees he has to pay as income tax. Did he get anything in reality, sir? Nothing. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of his pocket. And this is with most of our investments. So we get nothing in reality. Of course, 6,000 was your notional income only. Please do understand. 6,000 was your notional return. But my dear participant, unless and until you earn some real return on your investment, you are sheer money accumulators. You are not wealth creators. And since you are not wealth creators, you are not going to be prosper. The equation is very simple. So we have to see that all our investment must earn some real return. That's a different story, whether it might be 1% or 2% or 5% or 10%, but there has to be some real return on all investments. I take this example forward. Suppose the interest rate, Dr. Shankar, is 8%. In that scenario, Mr. Chakravarti will get 8,000 as interest income. Again, keeping inflation at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. There still remain 3,000. Out of 3,000, he has to pay income tax at the rate of 20%. That is 1,600 he has to pay as income tax. But even after that, Dr. Shankar, there remain 1,400. That's your real income. That's your real income. And this 1,400 is going to create wealth for you. So please do understand, my dear participants, real income is the crux for your wealth creation. And the formula of real return is very simple. If the student wish to note, they can note it down. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000, minus tax liability, if any, that is 1,200 and 1,600. In the first scenario, there is no real return. In the second scenario, there is a real return of 14%, 1,400 rupees. So please do understand it very, very clearly that you have to earn some real return on your investment to be prosper, to be wealthy. Now, what is the reason, Dr. Shankar, that most of us are money accumulators? Sir, there is a reason. I know Dr. Shankar Rao must be knowing that reason. And the reason is not outside somewhere else, Dr. Rao. The reason lies in our mind. And the reason is very, very emphatic, very deep-rooted, sir. And the reason is, sir, most of the middle class, salary class person, particularly, don't want to take any risk. Arey Baba, risk ki baat mat karo. We don't want to take any risk. Dr. Shankar, when my session come at this stage, there might be one or two messages in the chat box. Sir, tell us something about safe investment. Normally do happen. But my dear participants, I want to make it abundantly clear to you, all of you. There is no term as safe investment, except some governmental small saving scheme, which we might discuss afterwards. And in every investment, risk element is there, Dr. Shankar, that we have to accept it. We have to accept that most of the investments have got risk. Although the degree, of course, the degree of risk will vary from one product to other product. But most of the products do have risk. So please do understand and accept that risk is there, because unless and until we accept that risk is there, there may not be a way of how I can manage my risk and how I can minimize my risk. That way will work out only when I accept that risk is there in most of the investments. Yes, so I will request all the young participants particularly, please do accept that in most of the investment, risk is there. But again, once you accept it, then the thinking will develop how I can manage my risk, how I can minimize my risk. That is very natural. We will think of minimizing our risk. We will think of managing our risk. Yes, my dear participants, that can be done. And for that, I am just sharing a very simple two-word formula. I don't know, Doctor, what expectation Dr. Shankar had with my expectation when he invited me on this topic. Because I had mentioned in the beginning itself, I will talk in a most simplest way and to reach to the particular students and those who are not from commerce and management background, so that they can understand the basics of the investment and investment metrics. So formula, there is a formula through which we can manage your risk and we can minimize your risk. And the formula is very simple. Think, understand, and invest. I have used two words only, Dr. Shankar. Think, understand, and invest. The first word is think. What I have to think. There are two things I have to think about myself. The first and foremost thing, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? And Dr. Shankar, every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual, because our incomes are different, our obligations, family obligations are different, our social structure is different. Everything is different. So my risk appetite is limited to myself only. But one blender, Dr. Shankar, we all do. I don't know whether a few faculty members might have also done that. That is a blunder which most of us might have done. That is, we follow others while taking investment decision. Suppose Dr. Subbarao is making some investment and Dr. Shankar goes to his room and just, sir, what you are doing? Naturally, he says, I am investing some of my money in a good product which I have got. What thinking will develop in the Dr. Shankar's mind all of a sudden? Dr. Subbarao is a very good investor. He must be investing in a good product. So I should also invest here. I have some money. This normally we all do, but this is a blunder, Dr. Shankar, because the risk appetite of Dr. Subbarao is different than the risk appetite of yours. So we should never follow others. As far as our investment decisions are concerned, we should strictly look at our risk appetite only. And one more thing is there, Dr. Shankar, even individual's risk appetite is not a constant factor. It keeps changing with the age. When we are young, Dr. Lakshman Rao, we can take more risk. But when we cross 40, our risk-taking capacity normally rationalizes or reduces. But when we cross 55, 60, our risk appetite has become literally zero, Dr. Shankar. So we should take our investment decision strictly as per our risk appetite. Those who are young, I rather encourage them to take a risk, but it should not be a blind risk. It should strictly as per your risk appetite. But the young people must have focus on earning maximum real return on their investments. That should be their focus till they cross 40, 45. Because they have period to go. Dr. Shankar, perchance, suppose we commit some mistake in investment, let it be. We can rectify it. We can take a recourse, or we can take remedial measures to make our mistake good. But that luxury, Dr. Shankar, I don't have. Because of age factor, that luxury I don't have. So I keep encouraging young investors, young participants, please do take a risk, but it should be calculated and it should be as per your risk appetite. Second thing you have to think about is time horizon of investment. And normally, Dr. Shankar, we hardly think about time horizon of investment. Whenever I get money, I invest it. Without thinking that I will need money, Dr. Shankar, not in one go in my life. I will need money at many times. That is a huge money I will need. That is for our milestones. It is a fact, but normally we don't think in that way. But time horizon of investment is very, very important. And Lakshman Rao sir, again I take your name for this one small thing thing I want to share with all of you. I want to request Dr. Lakshman Rao and all, particularly all young faculty members and even students to understand what I am saying now. Next Sunday, Dr. Rao, kindly give me 1 hour. Request all your family members to join you. Sit calmly in your drawing room. Take one paper and one pencil. Make 3 columns on the paper. First column, second column, and third column. And in the first column, Dr. Rao, after discussing with your family, just note down what are the major milestones in your life. Just note it down. And normally, Dr. Shankar, what are the milestones in our life? Normally speaking, marriage is the first milestone in our life, normally. Then birth of the children celebration. Then naturally purchase of the home for the family is very natural. Then purchase of 4-wheeler if you have not got so far. Then Dr. Shankar, nowadays for young generation, a new milestone has emerged, which was not at least in our time, that is going on vacation. Every family would like to go on vacation very frequently, maybe 3 years or every year, or maybe 3 or 5 years. And vacation not only in India, but beyond India as well. So vacation has also become an important milestone. And after some years, when your children are grown up, my dear participants, the most important milestone will be happening in our life. That is higher education and professional education of children. That is one of the most important milestone in our life. And once their education is over, then naturally marriage of the children is the second step, which we normally think once their education is over. And last and very important milestone, Dr. Shankar, you might have mentioned in your opening remarks, that is retirement life. Retirement life has become very important milestone. More so when we don't have pension. Now pension is no more available. Even government, state government, central government has dispensed with the idea of pension. Private sector, of course, pension was not there earlier as well. So how we do live in the retirement life, Dr. Shankar? Normally we accumulate the money, huge money rather, for retirement life. We club some superannuation benefit which we get, and then put that all the corpus into some deposit or some investment, generate some regular return, and that through that regular return or income only we survive. That is a normal course of living the retirement life. So retirement, and one more thing, one more factor has emerged during last 20, 30 years, Dr. Shankar. Average age of Indian has increased like anything. Now a normal person will live around to 75 to 80 years. That is, even after retirement, a person will have to live around 20-25 years. So we have to develop a huge corpus for the retirement life as well. So please, in the first column, please note down what are the milestones in your life. And my dear participants, I give you liberty and leverage. Whatever you want to add, if I have not mentioned that milestone, add on. That is leverage I am giving to you. In the second column, Dr. Shankar, against each milestone, please just have an idea and put the period when that milestone is likely to happen in your life. Suppose somebody says that he is not married but likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against the marriage. That is just an idea only. Precisely, of course, it can't be done, but just a broad idea. So marriage after 2 years, likewise the birth of the children, 3.5 years. Then purchase of the house after 5 years, 10 years. Then a lot of other milestones happening. And then 20-25 year higher education of the children. Then after 30 years, you get retired. Normally, you put the period against each milestone, just a broad idea only. Precisely, of course, it can't be done. And the third column, which is very important, I want attention of all of you. Please start putting the money which you will need for each milestone. Again, idea only. Suppose somebody says that I'm likely to be married after 2 years, and all other marriage expenses will be taken care of by my parents, but at least honeymoon package will have to be purchased by me only. So put it 5 lakhs against the marriage. But Dr. Shankar, it will not be 5 lakhs. Because of inflation, it might be 5.50 lakhs or even more. So keep inflation factor into getting an estimate of the money for each milestone. And two very important milestone, Dr. Shankar Rao, I wish to mention here to all the participants. The first is higher education and professional education of children. Dr. Rao. Dr. Rao.
Yes, sir.
Today, a MBA degree from a good management institute, you will agree with me, costs around 20 lakhs.
Correct.
From a good management, around 20 lakhs. But sir, those who are young, who are not even married or had just married or have no children, when their children will go, into for higher education after 25 or so years or so, can you imagine, sir, what MBA degree will cost them? The MBA degrees, Dr. Rao, which is costing today around 20 lakhs, will cost not less than 2 crore rupees per child. Am I right, sir? Broadly speaking. So suppose if you have 2 children, then you will need not less than 4 crore rupees only for the higher education of children. And last one is, Dr. Rao, is retirement life. Suppose a person today is of around 30 years and he or she says that her monthly expenses are around 30,000. Dr. Rao, when he or she becomes 60 after 30 years, can you imagine what will be the monthly expenses requirement? The monthly expenses which he or she is managing at 30,000 today, after 30 years, for the same standard of living, he or she will need, Dr. Rao, not less than 2 lakh rupees per month because of inflation. So 2 lakhs multiplied by 12, it means around 24-25 lakhs per year, Dr. Shankar, at the time of the first year of retirement, at the age of 60. So how much retirement corpus you should have? A thumb rule is there, sir. Your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. So your annual expenses will be around 25 lakhs multiplied by 5 or by 20. So it becomes 5 crore. So a normal middle class, salary class person who is 30 today will need around a corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees for their retirement only. And now I want to scare Dr. Rao. I want you to be scary for a moment. Just make the total of the last column and you will be surprised. A normal middle class, salary class person, Dr. Rao, will need around 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestones only. I am not included the monthly expenses from 30 years to 60 years, sir. That I have excluded. Only for your major milestone, you will need 10 to 12 crore. From where it will come, sir? I know Dr. Shankar is very lucky. KBC is starting. He is going to KBC winning 7 crore rupees. Then what about others, sir? What about others? How others will manage? So that is so. Every middle class, salary class person will need 10 to 12 crore. From where that money will come? Yes. Now I want to give them confidence to all of you, particularly young participants. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees in your life for your milestone, provided you start seriously working on your saving and investment right from the day you started working. That is the most important precondition. So please do be serious about your savings right from the month you start earning. Don't keep deferring. Normally we keep deferring. Leave it here. I'm very young. Why I should take life insurance cover? Why I should take health insurance cover? Why should I start saving? Why should I think of investing my savings? Normally we have this approach, but my dear participants, this is not a good approach. This is not a proper approach. On the contrary, you should be very serious right from the month you start earning about your savings and your investment and developing security, which we have just discussed. One more thing I hear I want to tell all of you is that is rule of compounding. And Dr. Rao, rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world. Rule of compounding, my dear participant, is eighth wonder of the world. And simply speaking, rule of compound is nothing but you have to make a commitment and promise with yourself. The promise is not simple, sir, but you can make it. And once you commit yourself, it can happen. And the promise is very simple, my dear participants. You have to make a promise with yourself that whenever and whatever return or income I will get on my investment in future, that might be 5,000, that might be 5 lakhs. I again repeat, whatever and whenever I get some income or return on my investment, I will never use that return or income for my personal consumption. Dr. Shankar, what I will simply do, I will club that income or return with my regular investment which I am making and reinvest. And if I continue with this practice for 15-20 years, of course, very difficult. Because when I will get 5 lakh rupees and return on my investment after some years, whole family will be behind me, Dr. Shankar. I enjoy with this money, go for some vacation, have some celebration. That is very natural. But then we have to make our commitment very clear to all. This return is not meant for any celebration or for any family obligation. This return or income has to be clubbed with or regular investment and reinvest it. And if you do it, my dear participant, for next 10, 15, 20 years, rest assured, I can give you a confidence that after 15, 20 years, we may not meet, but you will remember my words. You will have least financial problem in your life if you practice this in your life, rule of compounding in your life. So these were the basic things I wanted to tell to young participants about the investment, importance of savings and investment metrics. Last 10, 15, 20 minutes, we will discuss about the investment product, Dr. Shankar, where we can invest, because that is equally important. We should know what are the investment products available for us. The first category of investment product available for all of us is governmental small saving scheme. And Dr. Lakshman Rao, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, but I personally feel that one governmental small saving scheme, which is called Public Provident Fund Account, PPF, is a relatively very good scheme. Relatively very good scheme. Triple E scheme, exempt, no tax any level. Minimum amount you can deposit it 500 rupees, maximum is 1.50 lakhs. And ATC deduction is also allowed to you. That benefit is also available to you. The scheme is for 15 years, but you can extend beyond 15 years for another term of 5 years, and then 5 years, and then 5 years, if you wish. And I personally feel that every normal middle class, salary class person should have PPF account. And even Dr. Shankar, your spouse can legally have a PPF account even when she is not running. You can contribute her PPF deposit because that is exempt. So PPF account is one of the best system. And two very small things I want to tell all the participants. Very small things. If possible, please try to deposit 1.50 lakhs in the PPF account at the beginning of the financial year, that too before 5th of April. Because in that scenario, you will earn interest for the whole year. But if it is not possible, that whenever you deposit any amount in PPF, please deposit it before 5th of the month. Because if you deposit on 6th, then you will not get interest for the whole month. So these are very small things about, but it makes substantial difference over a period of time, 15, 20 years. So PPF account is a good account, triple E exempt scheme. You can open it in any post office or bank. Next product is National Savings Certificate. I would be very brief now because I don't have time, so I will just mention the name. Those who are interested can go deeper through Google and websites. Then third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. Fourth one is bank and post office deposits. They have got some schemes as well. Fifth one is RBI also keep raising bonds from the public, loan from the public. taxable bond and tax-free bond. And you can invest in RBI bonds as well. Even today, RBI floating rate interest rate bonds is 7.15%, which is not a bad return, relatively speaking. Then government also take loan from the public, and for that, my dear participants, RBI has recently started a channel website which is called RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central. You can visit the website of RBI Retail Central, get the details, get yourself registered, and then you can start investing a small amount in governmental securities. Then government has also started two channels, Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Basically, these are the channels started for taking loan for the public sector undertakings. Earlier, they were issuing debentures and bonds directly to the public. But of late, government has started this channel where you can invest, and the return are reasonable. All these schemes or products are under the umbrella of governmental schemes. And one uniqueness, Dr. Shankar, you will agree with me, with this scheme is there is no risk. No risk at all. Whatever government promises you, they will give you return. When your scheme matures, whatever money due to you, government will pay that, because sovereign guarantee is there. And I personally feel, I don't know whether Dr. Shankar will agree with me or not, a normal middle class, salary class person should have around 15 to 20% of their total investment in governmental small saving scheme, just to manage or just to balance their risk appetite. Then the second category available to all of us is real estate and property. And Dr. Ruhi, very honestly speaking, I am not an expert on the real estate and property. I don't know whether Dr. Shankar or any of the faculty members has got deeper knowledge of the subject. If they have, next time they can have a session for your participants. But I personally feel that property in real estate has got risk all the time. What return you will earn, not certain. Whether you will be able to sell the property at the moment you want, not certain. And then maintenance cost of the property real estate is also very high, relatively very high. And for real estate investment, Dr. Ruhi, we will need huge investment. You can't investment in real estate by 5 lakh or 10 lakh. You will need 50 lakhs, 1 crore or like so, the huge amount for that. So real estate is a product. I leave it to you how much you want to invest in that. Third product available for middle class, salary class person, Dr. Ruhi, I know you will now smile what I'm saying now. That is gold. When I start talking about the gold, my female participants particularly have a smile on their faces. Because historically speaking, we Indians of Indian middle class families have fascination about the gold, particularly our female members. Historically speaking. But of late, the time has changed. Earlier, we were investing in gold only through jewelry, mostly through jewelry, Dr. You will agree with me. But now you can invest in gold through in digital form as well. And for that, I wish to mention a particular scheme of Government of India. It is not a private scheme, Dr. Ruhi. That scheme name is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the Government of India, where you can invest minimum 1 gram gold price, and maximum limit, Dr. Ruhi, is 4 kg gold price. And price is set by the government for every tranche. The scheme runs for 8 years, and government gives you 2 benefits under this scheme. The first benefit, Dr. Ruhi and all female participants, government gives you 2.5% interest on your on the money you deposited under sovereign gold bond scheme. And second benefit is whatever appreciation in the gold prices will also be shared with you. Suppose, Dr. Ruhi, today the tranche price per gram gold, per 10 gram gold is 50,000, and after 8 years, gold price become 80,000 10 gram. Then the difference between 80,000 and 50,000, that is 30,000, will also be shared with you. And if you remain in the scheme for 8 years, which is the tenure of the scheme, your tax liability will be literally zero, very minimum tax liability. However, if you wish to withdraw before 8 years, after 3-4 years, then of course tax liability will be there. So please do. And here again, if you are able to invest in sovereign gold bond scheme, Dr. Ruhi, online investment, digital online investment, Dr. Ruhi, then you will also get 50 rupees discount as well. That is additional benefit government is extending, because the government want to encourage your digital investment. So sovereign gold bond is a very good scheme of the government of India, and you can consider for this. And apart from sovereign gold bond, ETF mutual funds are there. You can invest in mutual funds as well. And I personally feel, Dr. Shankar, that a normal middle class, salary class person should have around 5% of their total investment in gold. Because historically we have taken it, Dr. Ruhi, as a safety wall. It was not an invest, very honestly, it was a safety wall. But now the time has changed and we should invest more in digital form, not in physical form. And last product available in the market, apart from commodity market, next time we will talk about commodity market as well. That is security market. But Dr. Ruhi, when I start talking about the security market, there might be a message or two in the chat box. अरे सर इसके बारे में बात मत कीजिए, तो सट्टा बाजारी है. It is sheer speculation. People do have that idea of that opinion as well. But Dr. Shankar, you will agree with me that security market, of course, has got speculation element, because security market is purely knowledge-based market. Please understand it very carefully, Dr. Ruhi and all the participants. Security market is purely knowledge-based market, and it requires a lot of your time to take care of your investments. So those who don't have knowledge of the market, I request them not to enter into the market, Dr. Lakshman Rao, directly. Please don't enter into security market directly unless and until you have knowledge. But one thing, Dr. Shankar, I want to mention here. Security market has given you 15% average return during last 30 years, Dr. Ruhi, which no product has given. 15% average annual return. Your governmental scheme has hardly given 7% plus return. Real estate has given 7.5% to 8% return. Gold has given less than 6% average return during last 35 years. But security market has given 15%. But again, I repeat, if you don't have knowledge, please don't enter into the market. Next time, if Dr. Shankar is comfortable, we will have a detailed technical session on security market for your students, where we will discuss in detail about the SEBI, NSE, BSE, IPO, primary market, secondary market. Because this is not a technical session, that's why I am taking those things away from today's session. But next time, when convenient, we will definitely discuss about the security, and that will be more relevant for your students as well. But there is an indirect way of investing into security market, Dr. Ruhi, and that is called mutual funds. Mutual fund is an indirect way of investing into security market. And my dear participants, mutual fund is a simple proposition where, Dr. Ruhi, we are giving our savings to the experts. We are not directly investing. We are giving our money to the experts. Why we are giving? For the simple reason that I don't have knowledge, I don't have time. That is why I am giving my money to the experts. But the very clear expectation that I am giving my money to them. Please do invest as per your wisdom, expertise, and experience. And the purpose and focus is very simple, Dr. Ruhi. Generate maximum return for me. Generate maximum return for me. So you should understand that mutual fund is not a social service. It is a proposition where I am giving my money to the fund managers for investing into within the domain of the scheme which I have selected. But the purpose is very simple, to generate a maximum return for me. But one thing I want to tell all the participants, there is perception among the people, most of the people's mind is that mutual fund is a security market. I don't know whether Dr. Rui has the same perception, but I want to tell all the participants, mutual funds is not limited to security market only. Dr. Rui, there are schemes in the mutual fund where your money is invested into governmental securities. There are schemes in the mutual fund where your money is invested into real estate and properties. There are schemes in the mutual fund, Dr. Ruhi, where your money is invested into gold ETFs. And there are schemes in the mutual fund, Dr. Ruhi, where your money is invested into international corporates. Dr. Ruhi sitting at Bangalore, you can participate in the investment of Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, big names of the world, Apple. Sitting at Bangalore itself, you have the leverage of investing in those big corporates through international funds in mutual funds. But of course, Dr. Shankar, 95% of the mutual fund scheme relate to security market. That is also a fact. So in mutual fund, there is two uniquenesses there, Dr. Ruhi. One is in mutual fund, schemes are available as per your risk appetite. If you have higher risk appetite, one scheme is available. If you have moderate risk appetite, other scheme is available. And even when you have least risk appetite, third scheme is also available. So in mutual fund, schemes are available as per your risk appetite. And side by side, Dr. Ruhi, in mutual fund, schemes are available when you want to invest only for a single day. Overnight funds are there. Even for one night, Dr. Shankar, if you want to invest, overnight funds are there. If you want to invest for a very short period of 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 week, or 1 month, 2 months, then liquid funds are there. If you want to invest only for a very short period of 3 months to 6 months, ultra short-term debt funds are available. If you want to invest for 1 year, 2 year, medium term or short term debt funds are available. If you want to invest for more than 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, then normal long term debt funds and equity funds are available. So in mutual funds, as per your risk appetite and as per your time horizon, Dr. Lakshman Rao, schemes are available. Likewise, in mutual fund, there are 3 broad categories of schemes, Dr. Ruhi, as far as security market is concerned. The first one is equity fund. In equity fund, as the name goes, your money will be invested into the equity share of the listed corporates. Please do understand it. In equity fund, when you participate in equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporate. And Dr. Ruhi, we are all aware, the price of the equity share always go up and down. So the risk is greater. So those who can take higher risk, they can think of investing their money into equity fund. Likewise, those who have longer horizon of minimum 5 years and more, they should prefer their investment in savings or investment of their savings into equity fund. So equity fund has got higher risk appetite, but at the same time, equity fund, Dr. Lakshman Rao, has got potential to earn more return for you. Potential. I am not guaranteeing anything. Don't think there is no guarantee at all. If somebody thinks that there is a guarantee, then he is not on the right path. There is no guarantee at all, Dr. Ruhi, but potentiality of getting higher return is there in equity funds. And most of the equity fund during last 10 years, Dr. Lakshman Rao, has averagely given more than 15% return, average annual, no regular return. This month may be a bad year because there might not be any return at all. But last year was a very, very good year. So averagely equity funds have given 15% return, but it is meant only for those who are young, who can take high risk, plus they have a longer horizon. But suppose I don't have high risk appetite. Then other category is there, Dr. Ruhi, that is called debt funds. One was equity fund. Second one is debt fund, DEBT debt fund. In debt fund, Dr. Lakshman Rao, your savings will be given as a loan to the corporate. Please make the difference very clearly. In debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. And Dr. Shankar, when a loan is given, rate of interest is pre-decided normally, and the maturity period is also decided. So in debt fund, return will be reasonable but lesser risk. So those who don't want to take high risk and those who are satisfied with the reasonable return, debt fund is a better proposition for them. And the third category, Dr. Ruhi, is hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, typically speaking, dono haathon mein laddu. You want to think of earning some higher return, but at the same time, you are taking care of your balancing risk. So in hybrid fund, basically what happens, some of your money goes into equity fund. Suppose you invested 50,000. So out of 50,000, 20,000 or 30,000 may go to the equity fund, but remaining goes to the debt fund. So you are balancing your risk, but at the same time aspiring for the higher return. So hybrid fund is for those who want to aspire a little bit higher return, but don't want to take high exposure into equity fund. So these are three major categories. There are two ways of investment into mutual fund. One is direct plan. In direct plan, Dr. Shankar, you can visit the website of the mutual fund company, technically called AMC. Select the scheme, give the information online, and you are selected. You are invested. But suppose for any reason you are not in a position to go on direct plan, Dr. Ruhi, then other option is there, that is called regular plan. In regular plan, you will have to take the help of the local mutual fund distributor. List of you can have from the MC website or from the SEBI website. They will come to you. They will help you out in filling the form. They will take documents from you and they will make your investment operational. So regular plan is a way where, please do understand, your return will always be lesser as compared to your direct plan. Why, Dr. Ruhi? Because of the simple reason that in regular plan, you are taking the help of the mutual fund distributor and naturally he will get something out of, he or she will get out some fees or some commission. So whatever goes to her will be from your return only. That is why in direct plan, return will always be higher as compared to regular plan. And now SEBI had make a arrangement that you start with regular plan if you are a new investor, but after 2-3 years, when you are comfortable with the investment, you can switch from regular plan to direct plan. That facility is also now available. Now, in mutual fund, there are two uniqueness which I want to share with all of you, particularly since most of us are middle class, salary class person. The first one is, Dr. Ruhi, is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. It is basically a way of investing. And Dr. Rao, SIP is nothing but just like a recurring account, Dr. Ruhi, which you might have opened with the bank or post offices. In recurring account, what happened? We are investing a particular amount every month regularly, maybe a month, maybe weekly or maybe fortnightly. So SIP is a way of regular investment, and that is more suitable to middle class, salary class person because we get monthly or regular income. SIP is a magic. I want to tell you, all of you, SIP is a magic. How magic works, I just want to give you one example. And one more thing I want to tell here, Dr. Ruhi, you can have SIP in equity fund, in debt fund, or in hybrid fund. In all categories of funds, you can have SIP. SIP is a magic, and I just want to give you an example, Dr. Shankar. But I will not mention the name of the scheme or name of the AMC because that will be unfair on my part. That might be indirectly marketing of that product or scheme, but facts are there. I just want to emphasize here, Dr. Shankar, facts are, my dear person, please listen it very carefully. One equity fund, a mutual fund company AMC started an equity fund in 1995. Please note down the dates very carefully. One equity fund was started by a mutual fund company, Dr. Lakshman Rao, in 1995. And Dr. Subba Rao, who is a very smart investor, start an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month, monthly SIP. SIP can be monthly, weekly, or fortnightly, or quarterly even. So he started an SIP of 10,000 rupees in that equity fund in 1995. And he's continuing with the monthly investment through SIP right from 1995, Dr. Rohit, till today. That is the crux of the success. Please do understand. Normally, Dr. Shankar, what happens? People start investing and when market goes up, they are happy then our money is increasing. But market will always go up and down because Dr. Ruhi, the basic character of the market is moment. Market will always go up and down. So from 1995 to 2022, Dr. Shankar, market might have go 100 times up and 100 times down. Sometimes deep rise, sometimes deep fall. But Dr. Subba Rao, being a smart investor, never stopped or missed his SIP. Every month religiously he is investing 10,000 right from 1995 to 2000. That's the crux. Please do understand the importance of regular investing. And Dr. Shankar, are you interested to know what the corporate Dr. Subba Rao has of that SIP today? I think everybody should be. He has a corpus of 9.57 crore. That's the magic of SIP. But again, 2-3 things I want to again repeat here. Regular investing, come what may. Don't bother about the moment of the market. Never. Continue with your SIP for longer period, minimum 10, 15, 20 years. And Dr. Shankar, you are a professor of management. I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. I have a perception that next 20, 25 years are going to be golden period of the Indian economy. But golden period for whom? Only Dr. Ruhi who are investors. Because normally there are two categories of persons you might have come across. One category belongs to 99.99% belongs. Who they are? Dr. Ruhi, they go to the stadium, they take popcorn, they take cold drink, they clap when the player make a stroke, come home after entertainment. Nothing than only an entertainment. But who are the other category, Dr. Ruhi? Players who are playing. They are basically getting everything. They get endorsement in advertisement, they get match fees, everything they get, fame, celebrity status. So we have to be player, we have to be real investor. We should not simply clap for others that our Indian economy is expanding, GDP is increasing. This thing will keep happening, but we have to be beneficiary of that scenario. And that will be happening only, Dr. Shankar, when we are investors. So please be investor. This is the first requirement. And start an SIP. And Dr. Shankar, I know a lot of my friends who have started not one Dr. Ruhi, but more than one SIP. That is target-oriented SIP. Means one SIP for going on vacation after 5 years. Other SIP for higher education of children for 25 years. Third SIP for retirement plan. Fourth SIP for any other target. So you can have more than one SIP. And now Dr. Shankar, top-up facility in SIP is also available. Automatic type of facility. Suppose Dr. Ruhi, you start an SIP of 5,000 today. Next year, definitely you will get some increment, some increase in your salary. So right from today, you can give a mandate that next year my SIP would be 5,500 rupees. That is automatic top up you are giving. Third year it can be 6,000. Fourth year it may be 7, but that top up facility is also now available. So please think of starting SIP. I am requesting all young participants particularly. Think of SIP of even 500 rupees. Even Dr. Ruhi, the minimum SIP you can start will be on 500 rupees. And students can start an SIP out of their pocket money just to get a flair how SIP works. And continue with the SIP for more than 10-15 years. Magic will happen in your life. And if you are more calculated and planned, working, then you can have more than one SIP. Other facility in mutual fund is STP. First was SIP, second one is STP. STP means Systematic Transfer Plan. In STP, typically what happens, Dr. Shankar, suppose you have 5 lakh rupees, you got some bonus, you get some incentive, or you have got some 5 lakh rupees. The one option with you is that you can invest 5 lakh rupees in a mutual fund in a lump sum way, but that is not the proper way. Because suppose today you invest 5 lakh rupees and tomorrow market goes down, your 5 lakh rupees may become 4 lakh 50,000, but even a single day. So the other prudent way is you put this 5 lakh rupee, Dr. Shankar, initially in a liquid fund. Then give a mandate of transferring a small amount, maybe 20,000, maybe 50,000, maybe 40,000 every week or every fortnight or every month from liquid fund to the fund where you have planned, that is called designated fund, where you want to invest. So a smaller amount will go periodically from liquid fund to the designated fund. So that way you will be balancing your risk. Because today, suppose the market is 53,000. After 1 week, market might be 52,500. Third week, it might be again 50,000, 3,000 or something. Then fourth week, it may go up to 54,000. So over a period of time, when all your money of 5 lakhs will be transferred from liquid fund to the designated fund, you will have automatic balancing. So not think of investing one lump sum money at a time, but start it through STP. And the other benefit of mutual fund is SWP. That is Systematic Withdrawal Plan. First, I have mentioned about the SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. And this is opposite of SIP, Dr. Ruhi. Because in SWP, basically it is meant for our retirement life normally. Systematic withdrawal plan simply means we are withdrawing regularly from our fund, which we have accumulated over a period of time. Suppose I have accumulated a corpus of 5 crore rupees, which anybody can. I can give confidence to all of you. You all can have a corpus of 5 crore rupees. Suppose, Dr. Ruhi, you have developed a corpus of 5 crore rupees, and now you are going to retire next month. And once we retire, the most painful thing is my bank account will not be credited by the salary in the next month, because which I was getting from my employer. Salary will not be available next month. So what I can do, I can simply write a one line mail to the mutual fund company where I have corpus. Please keep transferring 2 lakh rupees, whatever you want, 2 lakh rupees, 1 lakh rupees from my corpus to my bank account on first. And they will do it. Ultimately, it is your money. But the first benefit I will get is I will have a reasonable amount in my bank account on first itself. I can manage my affairs, which I was managing earlier, without any problem. So that mental comfort it will be with me that I am getting a reasonable amount in my bank account, which I can spend on my monthly expenses regularly. Second benefit is that I can that whatever corpus remain with them is continuously invested. So that is continuously invested. So you are regularly earning income on your corpus. So suppose down the line after 10 years, your need become from 2 lakhs to 3 lakh rupees because of inflation. your corpus has earned return for you. So that you can increase your monthly withdrawal from 2 lakh rupees to 3 lakh rupees easily. And third benefit is, Dr. Shankar, SWP is tax efficient also. It is tax efficient in the sense that suppose, Dr. Rui, you are withdrawing 2 lakh rupees per month. Then in 2 lakh rupees, there are two components. One component, Dr. Shankar, is your principal amount which you have accumulated over a period of time. And second component will be returned, which has been clubbed with your corpus. So tax will be applicable only on the return portion, not your principal withdrawal. So that is tax efficient as well. Mutual fund, I can go on for another 2 hours because it is a lengthy subject. But briefly, I have tried to brief you to generate interest of the young participants. Go deeper into the subject. And I will share 3-4 websites. Please note it down. These websites are beneficial for a young generation and those who wish to know more about the mutual fund. First website is AMFI, AMFI. AMFI website has got lot of material and small videos where you to get you understand the concept of mutual funds and different categories of mutual funds as well. Then SEBI website has also got lot of material on the security market, including mutual fund. And 3-4 private websites are there, Dr. Ruhi. Otherwise, there are hundreds of private, thousands of private websites, but 3-4, these are private websites, and I am not marketing them. I am not getting anything out of them, but I feel they are good one to understand the concept of mutual fund. The first one is Value Research. Value Research is relatively a good website, having lot of material about the mutual funds and their categories. Second one is Money Control. Money Control is also a relatively good website. You can have better idea of the mutual fund schemes and categories. And third one is ET Money, Economic Times Money. ET Money has also got a lot of material on mutual funds. And other websites these are just few names I have mentioned. Otherwise, there are thousands of websites available on website. So please take your time and understand the concept of mutual fund before starting your investment, because ultimately your money. Ultimately, it is your money. But take your time, maybe 1 month, maybe don't be in great hurry. Nothing will lapse in 1 month. But then start investing. Normally, we Indians have a typical habit, Dr. Shankar. We talk too much, we listen too much, but we act less. Even in the areas where we feel it is okay, we okay, dekhenge na, are kar denge na, what is the great hurry? Then we will simply forget. So don't dampen your spirit of a good investor. You have to be a good investor. And last 2 things, Dr. Shankar, I want to request to you particularly, and Dr. Subbarao, and through all faculty members, there is a menace in our country, Dr. Ruhi, which is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committee. People do come with promising you higher return, doubling your money in 3 or 4 years. They are all frauds. I'm using a very harsh word for them. They're all frauds. They are simply vanish with your money sooner or later. And Dr. Shankar, I know you will not invest, your faculty members will not, who are normally investing in those bogus schemes. A segment of our society which are not so educated, Dr. Ruhi, or maid servant, or peon, or taxi driver, or milk vendor, or auto rickshaw wala, electrician, plumber, they basically, because of temptation of getting higher return, they sometimes invest their hard-earned money in those bogus schemes. And Dr. Shankar, I will request all of you, please start a campaign around your area. Try to educate and make people aware as much as you can, particularly those category of people, that they should never invest their hard-earned money in those bogus schemes. If they don't know anything, nothing doing, they should simply put their money in bank and post offices. At least their money will be safe. So it is our social responsibility, Dr. Shankar. You might have heard about CSR, but I am talking about the ISR, individual social responsibility. And I think you will take it forward. And last thing I want to tell all the participants, my dear participants, prosperity is my right. Dr. Ruhi, every individual has got right to be prosper. It is not a luck. It is not a luck at all. We all can be prosper, provided we started. I might have born into a poor family. Dr. Shankar, there might be a case when people might have born into a poor family. Birth in a poor family is not a curse at all, Dr. Ruhi. Not at all. Never think in those terms. But living as poor and die as poor is a curse which we all can take care of by making our savings and investment decision timely, regularly, consistently, making our investment fruitful so that we all can be prosper. I am again and last thankful to Dr. Shankar, Dr. Subbarao and all family members for giving me opportunity to interact with you. And sorry if you find my session average and normal, because I thought I should start at the beginning in a most simple language. Because financial jugglery you are teaching to students every day. So I want to encourage them to be an investor. And next time, if you feel a need, we can have a technical session for your students on security market. Then we will not talk about these normal things. And then again on mutual funds as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session. As a layman in finance and investment, I took a lot of key takeaways from this session. I've made a lot of notes for me to discuss with my family and to understand the concepts as well. It was a truly enriching session. I would like to thank our coordinators, Abhijit sir and Lakshman sir. Thank you so much for organizing such a wonderful session. And there are few questions that we would like you to answer, sir.
Yeah,
To
please,
start
please.
off with, yes.
But before that, I will be grateful if Dr. Shankar gives his opinion about the session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Absolutely, sir. It was a great presentation. And in fact, I was going through certain feedbacks. Nearly we have 260, at the peak we had some 280 participants and some 35 to 40 PhDs participating. Many of them have given very good feedback. And I'm sure that what happens in life is we get a lot of inputs, and it is a discipline and our ability to act in time that becomes very important. From a very student's perspective, the younger lot for whom the seminar or this webinar has been organized, most of them are in their 20s or just around 18, 19s. The amount of wealth that they will have access if they start adopting this discipline basic practices that Suryakant sir has put across. If you imbibe in your spending habits, or if you imbibe savings and investing habits in a disciplined way, I'm sure that they'll be able to create wealth for themselves greatly. And also, it is we have to realize that while there are many instruments available, financial instruments available, we need to equip ourselves with knowledge, like how Suryakant sir has put across. We have Amphi, we have SEBI, we have many other high websites with credentials, which we need to update ourselves on a continuous basis and make wise choices. Sir, great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So nice.
Yeah.
Dr. Duhi, now you can take in the questions.
Yes, sir, I'll do that. To start off with, there is a participant, Debba Priya, who has asked a question. Sir, is it okay to take a term insurance after 40 years since the annual premium is high? And this may be a dead investment at many situations. What is the
First
idea
of all,
about LSC?
I got her point. First of all, it is not an investment. Please don't take insurance as an investment. That is a blunder, mistake we all, not blunder, but a mistake we all do. Investment is a product which will take care of our security aspect. It is not for generation of income. Please do understand it very carefully. Normally, Shankar sir, our mindset is different. What I will get out of it? If I don't get it, why I should take it? Is it? But my dear participant, please do understand, through term insurance, you are getting insurance of a huge amount at a very minimum period. But if you go for the money back and endowment, your premium will run into thousands of rupees, which most of people will not be able to take. This is the first request. Second thing, as far as her question is concerned, of course, he or she is asking about 40 years. 40 years, definitely premium will be very high, very honestly speaking. That is why, Shankar sir, I keep emphasizing in my session to young participants, but Dr. Ruhi and all young participants, please do take life insurance cover as early as you can. Because in that scenario, your premium will be much lesser, much lesser. So don't keep it deferring, because after 15 years, Dr. Ruhi will ask the same question. I am 40 now. Can I take this? No, that will be very costly affair at that time. That is why, please do take life insurance cover as early as you can. And here again, top-up facility, Dr. Ruhi is available nowadays in insurance as well. Suppose initially you take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees. Down the line, after 5 or 10 years, you feel that it has become inadequate. Then you can top it up from 1 crore to 1.5 crore or 2 crore or 3 crore. That facility is available, but you must have a base insurance cover at the beginning of your career.
Sure, sir. I think it answers the question. And moving further, there is another question regarding PPF in SBI and Sukanya Samriddhi. The rates have drastically come down. Would you still advise us to continue the existing policy or divert to mutual funds? That is SIP or lump sum?
Mutual fund has got different purpose. Sukanya has got different purpose. PPF has got different. Don't mingle with all this. You must have a PPF account, because I have told very clearly that 15 to 20% of our investment should be in governmental scheme. And PPF, Dr. Ruhi, still has got 7.10% interest, which is not a bad return. That too, it is exempt, no tax at all. No tax at all. So I still prefer that we should have PPF account. We should continue with the PPF account, even with relatively lesser interest rate. As far as Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is concerned, Dr. Ruhi, that is a unique scheme for the education and marriage of girl child. And those who have girl child age below 10, this is a unique scheme, and government is still giving 8.40% annual return, annual interest, which no other product is giving as far as governmental schemes are concerned. And Dr. Shankar, government has promised that the rate of interest in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana will be always higher, because it has got a specific purpose of girl education and marriage. So, and if you have girl child whose age is below 10, you must open a Sukanya Samriddhi account of her. And if you have more than one girl child, maximum limit is 2 girl child you can open.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And one more question. With inflation and cartels in market, mutual fund interests have come down in the last 45 days. Will the market recover, and in what time frame?
Nobody can say.
I was thinking to switch or come out.
No.
Please advise.
Dr. Abhijit Chakravarti is smiling, because we all know it very well. Nobody in the world can give any prediction or any idea when the market will come up or come down. But my emphasis is different, Dr. Shankar. Please continue in regular investing. That is more important. Forget about the market. Forget where the market is. Start today investing through a SIP of 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. Over a period of time, there will be automatic balancing of your investment, and you will get above average return if you are investing in that fund. And even in equity fund, if you continue for 10-15 years, your return will be relatively higher than other governmental scheme will be. So don't think about the market. Where market is, let the market there be. think of investing.
So should I understand that you should not time the investment in mutual fund? You should just invest.
Son, honestly, nobody can time. Very honestly speaking, nobody can time the investment. Nobody. But time will make you richer. Give longer time to your investment. And those who are young, like Dr. Ruhi, they have a horizon of 25, 30, 35 years to go. That luxury I don't have. That is why they are lucky. That is why I keep telling them they are lucky. But lucky in the sense you start investing something right from today.
Investing.
Don't wait for 5, 10 years to go. Then you will be like me only.
Yes, sir. That is actually yeah, that is actually a different perspective from you, sir. I have one question, sir. How is family health insurance and floaters insurance that you're talking about? What is that difference between those two concepts? Is there a difference?
No. Health insurance is a necessity. Necessity in the sense that there might be some serious disease discovered all of a sudden, or I might met with an accident. If I don't have any health insurance cover, what will typically happen? There is
I'll
no
have to
excuse.
spend on my own.
Exactly. There is no excuse. You will have to go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, but that will be very much painful because either you will have to withdraw some of your investment or take some loan from the relations. There is no second thought on it. But if you have health insurance cover, then all your hospital expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. Go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That is the purpose and benefit of health insurance cover. As far as floater health insurance cover and umbrella health insurance cover, it is health insurance cover only. The only benefit is that in the floater health insurance cover, you can add your spouse name, your children name in the one policy, and all members of the family are covered. All members, that's the uniqueness and the major benefit that in one singular health insurance cover, all members of the family are covered. If anything happens with any of the family members, they can go to the best hospital, come home, get the best treatment, and come home recovered. Otherwise, you can take individual health insurance cover as well. But in floater health insurance cover, the benefit is that all members of the family are covered under one health insurance.
Yes, sir. And what about cryptocurrency is one question, sir.
Less sold, better it is. Honestly speaking, Dr. Shankar will agree with me. As of now, it has got no legal sanctity. So unless and until government, or for that matter, RBI gives some, comes out with clarity, some rules and gives some legal sanctity, we should avoid that. This is my personal opinion. Of course, people are investing, but this is my personal opinion that we should avoid investing in cryptocurrency till there is a clarity as far as the legality is concerned.
I think one more question is there, sir. Under which plan we can make one-time investment? If so, what is the minimum and maximum amount?
There are a lot of plans where you can make one-time investment. But I'm talking of the mutual fund, but you should not, because STP is the right way of investing a amount if you want to invest. Because suppose today Dr. Rui has got 5 lakh rupees and she invests in one time in a particular scheme, and tomorrow market again go down. Dr. Rui might have from 5 lakh rupees to 4.50 in one single day. But the other way is you should put your save. One more thing I just wanted to mention out of context, of course. Dr. Shankar, nowadays, a lot of the young investors like Dr. Rui has started a practice. What they are doing, they are transferring their monthly income from their bank account to the liquid fund. The day you get salary, and that can be possible only through app. Nothing to go, nowhere to go. Simply download the app of a liquid fund of a mutual fund company. Suppose Dr. Rui gets a salary of 50,000. She transferred 50,000 from her bank account to the liquid fund on the first itself. Naturally, Dr. Rui will ask why I should do that. There are one benefit, Dr. Ruhi. In bank account, you are earning hardly 2.5%, that too on average basis. In liquid fund, even in this scenario when liquidity is much high, you might earn more than 3.5 to 3.7% interest every day. Every day. So there is a difference of literally 1.5% interest. Secondly, money is at your disposal. Suppose on 5th you need 5,000. What you normally do if you don't go, you go to the ATM, withdraw 5,000. The same thing can happen here. You simply go to the liquid fund app, put the withdrawal, put the amount, you click the button, and 5,000 is instantly transferred to your bank account. So the money is available at your disposal as is in your bank account, but you are earning a higher return. So it is a better cash management by the young professionals. The only limit is you can't withdraw more than 50,000 on a single day. That is limitation you must keep in mind. So liquid fund is a proposition where you are earning higher return, you are better managing your cash, and you are getting all the benefits. So you have to see that a liquid fund is a proposition where you are earning higher return. So please do understand it. And lot of young professionals have started this practice. I know.
Sir, there's one more question. Can I put my lump sum amount, lump sum money in post office monthly income system and then invest the monthly return from the post office MIS to SIP?
Yes, that you can. That is an innovative idea. That is an innovative idea. That is an innovative idea because you can start anything. There has to be a regular stream of income for starting SIP.
Sir, I have one question, sir. I don't know how much of Islamic banking or things like that you will be coming across. But according to my religious belief, I don't want to earn more of an interest. For example, I don't want to earn more of an interest. So what is that investment option that you can give me, sir?
Dr. Ruhi, in mutual fund, Shariat compliant mutual funds are available. Okay. I wanted to tell to my Muslim brothers and sisters, Shariat compliant mutual funds schemes are available. You can invest in those schemes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You just put the Shariat compliant mutual fund scheme, and there will be a list of schemes will be coming.
So maybe we have time for last 1 or 2
because
questions.
To start off with at least understanding about
maybe
to understand investment, it was a great task.
So we should not keep Surikant sir for a longer time. We can have another couple of questions. Last 2 questions.
Yeah. Last 2 questions we can take. Yeah, most welcome. And rather participants are welcome to ask the question. Rather they have freedom to counter my opinion. They are most welcome to counter whatever I have said. You have any other opinion, they should come forward and say.
Sir, there is one question. What is the best way to fund for emergency purposes beforehand, such as sudden loss of jobs, etc.? There is more clarity on emergency funds.
Emergency fund basically is a fund which we develop over a period of time. Because normally emergency fund should be 5 to 7 lakhs. It is not a small amount. But we can develop this emergency fund over a period of time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. But once it is in place, Dr. Ruhi, we have to make sure that this emergency fund is meant only for the emergencies. Because temptation will always be there. When Dr. Ruhi will have an emergency fund of 5 lakhs, her family will simply push her to go on vacation, go for some renovation in the house. That is very natural. But we have to be very clear. Emergency fund is meant only for emergencies in our life. That happened in the Corona period. And
thank you, sir. Thank you for.
I will never say you put emergency fund in your box in a currency form. Better you have a FD in a good bank, which you can withdraw at any point of time.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Now I hand over the session to Dr. Abhijit Chakravarti for the vote of thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the informative and informations that you have shared.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. A warm and graceful afternoon to all our participants, our keynote speaker, Dean Sir, Assistant Dean Sir, my dear colleagues. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make this event possible. I, Dr. Abhijit Chakraborty, on behalf of School of Commerce and Management Studies under Dhyanasagar University and the entire fraternity of the institution, extend my sincere thanks to Almighty for making today's event a grand success. On behalf of my school, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to our keynote speaker, Professor Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant MV, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace this event. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely encourage us for considering mutual funds along with other avenues while investing our funds. Your speech was very enriching and has enlightened us with valuable information on investment instruments available in the market. I also want to thank our Dean, Professor Captain Nagaraj Subbarao, for his support and guidance to make this event a successful one. I also want to extend thanks to Assistant Dean, Professor Tripta Shankar, for his encouragement, constant motivation, and support that helped us in organizing this event. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by all faculty members and staff here in SCMS, the school, and our another campus, Kudlugate, where MBA department staff has also helped us a lot in organizing this event. I extend my sincere gratitude to all of them. I am gratified to all the audience for joining this event, which made this event a really successful one. For participants, I will share the feedback form in WhatsApp group, which needs to be filled up by you as soon as possible. We'll send e-certificates to you email within 2 or 3 days. Last but not the least, a big thanks to each one of you. And before closing this event, I wish you all a great day. Thank you. We'll end this session with our national anthem. I request all present in this meeting to join me in singing our national anthem. Please stand up and join.
My dear Abhijit sir, before that, just a 1 minute, half a minute rather. I'm also thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to be with all of you. I'm thankful to Captain Nagarajan Subbarao sir, Mr. Shankar, Dr. Lakshman Rao, Dr. Abhijit Chaudhary, Dr. Ruhi, and all faculty members and participants for giving me opportunity. And a special thank, of course, goes to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for coordinating this event with you. And I will be more than happy to come to you physically as well at the first opportunity when Dr. Shankar gives me, and to interact with your students and your faculty members in person also. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
You're always welcome.
Thank you.